Welcome to Carting Truth Podcast, a father-daughter duo focusing on sharing revelations through conversations with the Lord. Let's get started with today's episode. Welcome to Carting Truth Podcast. I'm Lindsay here with my dad Shane, and we are in the season of dreams and visions coming right and left, and we've got a couple more for you today. We were going to wrap up Revelation 6, and we will do that, but these are very time-sensitive visions that we got, one from my husband and one from my dad, and so we got to share those with you today.
Yeah, Lindsay, your husband had a vision, and I had a vision, and one of these days we will finish Revelation 6, but we need to get into what's going on currently because this is time-sensitive visions. We feel like, and I felt like God told me I had to do this today because we were going to finish Revelation 6, but we keep getting these visions, and it's not like we're trying to get visions, and we're not even praying for them. They're just coming to me and coming to him.
Yeah.
So let's get into his vision first, and it was a short one, and mine was a short one, but it has a lot of details in it. What he's seen, he told me, is that he was above the earth again. Instead of the earth being small like a little bouncy ball, he was right up on it. You know, it was like being in orbit around it, like the Skylab or whatever. And he said he just heard one word, fractured, while he was looking at the earth. And he called and told me, and as soon as he told me, I got what it meant. So, we have talked about Judas Iscariot being the Antichrist, and that the Antichrist was and is not and yet is. So he was alive, and then he died. Of course, you don't go away. You go into heaven or you go into the abyss, one of the two, which is the bottomless pit. And Peter said he went to his own place. And, Judas did not repent. And Jesus, pretty much put a woe on him. He said, woe to the man that betrays the Son of Man, Been better for him if he'd not been born. So when Judas died, according to Peter, he went to his own place in the book of Acts, and that place would be the bottomless pit. And according to Revelation 17, the beast ascends out of the bottomless pit. Well, he can't ascend until there's a fracture in the veil between the spiritual world and the natural world.
Yes.
That was represented in the tabernacle whenever God put a veil between the Holy of Holies and the holy place. And then when Jesus passed away, that veil was fractured. It was ripped, torn in twain, it says. Right. Which gives, God access to us, and that's access to God through Christ. Right. Well, in order for the Antichrist, which we believe is Judas Iscariot, it just about has to be because all the scriptures are pointing to him. Jesus called him the son of perdition. Paul called the Antichrist the son of perdition. And so Jesus did that in John chapter 17, and Paul did it in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. So Judas Iscariot is the son of perdition. And this son of perdition ascends out of the bottomless pit. Well, your husband got a vision of the earth, and the voice said fractured. And I wonder if that's time sensitive. I wonder if the Lord was telling him this is the time that it's fractured, because we believe that this October, this month, the two-state solution, some form of the agreement will take place. And in order for that to be confirmed by the son of perdition, he has to be made manifest. Right. And I just wonder if that's not why he got just that one word to let us know what happened in the spirit, that the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is indeed fractured now.
Right. That's just like last episode. You were talking about, you thought in October the Antichrist would be walking around. I did not know that you thought that, but I know we put out a previous vision in the spring about the month October. So,
well, he confirms the covenant with the many for 1 week. So, in order to confirm the covenant for a week, he would not need to be here. And if we believe that covenant's going to start in October, then he would need to be here in some form. And I just wonder if that's not exactly what your husband was talking about when he said fractured. CERN's been colliding particles over there
For years.
and increasing the power. And there's a lot of talk about whether or not they're opening a portal. So Paul had said that the son of perdition would come out, and that his coming out was after the working of Satan. And then he later called him that wicked. So there has to be a breach in that in order for him to come out. And we had talked about CERN. CERN has been smashing particles together,
Right.
increasing the power in
Right.
doing that. I just wonder if they're not instrumental. Because, how else would you open up a portal, other than start messing with particles like that,
That's right.
releasing high energy? So I think all that stuff's working together. And we believe that in October, according to your husband's visions and according to what the Lord showed me about Apophis, is that, 2025 in the fall, October's in the fall,
Right.
that this 70th week would start. And we're still maintaining that's what we feel like God's telling us, and keeps reiterating that to me, that's, we're on track with this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why he had the vision about the fracture.
Wow, it all works together with his first one. Like I said, it was earlier, like in the spring. And now it's been like piece by piece coming more and more regarding that vision.
Well, then I had another vision. And this is going, we had went over this, maybe not in the detail we're fixing to today, but I went into a small, it was a troubling vision. I kind of woke up and was kind of restless and laid my head back down, and I seen a picture of Israel,
Right. Yeah.
And if you look at the pictures of Israel, you'll see a dotted line around Gaza most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll see another dotted line around the West Bank area.
Okay.
And the reason those are there is those are considered to be Palestinian territories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with all this talk about the two-state solution that's coming up, which is right on time for October.
It's right on time.
And it's pushing. And of course, they've got a deal out now where Hamas has to agree to it. And more than likely, they won't completely agree to it, or they'll say they will and then they won't, because Zephaniah comes into play. And so let's go over and read Zephaniah once again.
Yeah, we've been going over that one a lot lately.
We'll put that up, and then I'll show you the best I can with PowerPoint how that vision played out. All right? Okay, we're in Zephaniah, and we're in chapter 2, and it says, "Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree brings forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgments. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger." And then it says this, "For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up." So what's happened is he's saying, gather together, O nation not desired. Well, in the time that this is fulfilled, that would mean that they would be separated by something. All right?
Okay.
I'll put that map up there. So we've got Gaza down in the left-hand side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says Gaza will be forsaken.
Right.
And we've seen Gaza being destroyed now.
We have.
And we've got a offer on the table to Hamas. And if they refuse it, Israel will just keep destroying until they get them out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which very well may be what I think is going to happen. I think Hamas will turn them down, because why would Hamas, and they may not. God may supernaturally make them, But what I believe is going to happen, what I'm trying to say is I believe those people in Gaza will move up into the West Bank area. And that's what that verse means, gather together, because right now they're separated.
Okay.
There's part of them in Gaza,
Right.
and there's part of them in the West Bank. But that if Gaza gets forsaken and destroyed, where are they going? Egypt has put an army down at the southern border and said, you're not coming in here. And the other nations won't take them.
Right.
And so they've got to gather together somewhere. And then Israel this is where the pressure's going. It's really interesting if you pay attention to what's going on here. What's happened is Israel has come out and said that they're going to annex the West Bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then our leader said, no, you're not.
Oh, yeah. We put that clip up there.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this directly?
Yeah, but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now, okay?
Yeah, he's saying, no, you're not. You're not going to do that. And the reason I believe he's saying you're not going to do that is that's where they're going to gather to. That's what Zephaniah is talking about.
Right.
Is telling us that they're going to gather to that area.
Right.
So as this plot thickens, watch and see which direction they go, because they can't stay in Gaza.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Especially if it keeps on going and Gaza gets completely destroyed. Zephaniah says it's forsaken.
Right.
And we're seeing it being forsaken right now. Mm-hmm. So what I seen in the little visionette,
right.
I don't know what else to call it.
Mini vision.
The mini vision was over Gaza, there were X's. And then there was dots dotting its way over to the West Bank. And that's why I'm saying this. I think that this is what's going to happen, because I had mentioned that, but now I've seen it. And now I've seen this vision of it. And it was a short vision, but it was very clear as to what was happening. A picture of Israel flashed before me, and then X's started appearing as if you were doing this in PowerPoint.
He gave you a PowerPoint to explain this.
That's what it looks like it happened. And it was like X's going up over that.
Okay.
And then there was dots going over to the West Bank. So I believe what he's saying is that, I believe what Zephaniah is saying is that these two areas are separated, but I'm going to gather these people together. This is what this command is in Zephaniah. Okay. So I'm really interested to see if that's what takes place, because I seen it.
Yeah, you see it. You saw it played out, and I think that you need to make a PowerPoint.
I will.
And play it out for us as you saw it. How much clearer can you get when the Lord gives you a PowerPoint vision?
Yeah, I know it. He showed me how to do it, to take a picture of Israel and put it in the PowerPoint, and then make these X's go across Gaza, and then this dot going over to the West Bank area. And I'm like, is that what's going to happen? Are you showing me? Because this is what's going to happen. And after the events that took place, wherein our leader said, we're not going to allow you to annex.
Right.
I mean, what Israel was doing was this. Okay, we're going to occupy Gaza, and we're going to annex the West Bank, and there'll be no more Palestinians. They'll either absorb into being Israeli citizens, or they'll leave. And that was what Israel was doing. And the rest of the world, that's why we had the UN meeting, and that's why we had them voting about the two-state solution, because they're seeing this coming. They're seeing what Israel's doing.
Right. I was going to say, talk about that press conference that surfaced about our leader and Israel's leader. And our leader says, we're working on a peace agreement for this issue, but we've got even more of a peace agreement we're going to show you guys. I had chills.
We'll put
that clip up. Oh my gosh. I was like, this is it.
Thank you very much, everybody. So this is a big, big day, a beautiful day, potentially one of the great days ever in civilization. Things that have been going on for hundreds of years and thousands of years. At least we're at a minimum very, very close, and I think we're beyond very close. And I want to thank Bibi for really getting in there and doing a job. We've worked well together, as we have with many other countries, both of us, with many other countries, which is the only way this whole situation gets solved. And I'm not just talking about Gaza. Gaza is one thing, but we're talking about much beyond Gaza. The whole deal, everything getting solved. It's called peace in the Middle East.
This is what you prophesied since, early 2024. And I'm like, the peace agreement, they're talking about it. And he said it's about to give peace to the whole Middle East.
Yes. He was talking about the withdrawal of Gaza, and then he went on to expound.
And said, we've even got a bigger plan that's going to give peace to the whole Middle East, not just this section. And we were like, me and my husband were like, oh my goodness, this is it.
Well, I sent a message to him to watch this because I was watching it and I was like, oh my goodness.
We're watching it play out. Oh my gosh.
Watching it play out.
It's crazy when you talk about something for, a year and a half or so, and then you start seeing it on Fox News and you're like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
That's what his vision was. It's in October. It's in October. It's in October. And so this is lining up.
It's all lining up. All the little pieces are just continually falling right into place from the visions and the dreams he's given you guys.
So I'll put that up. So that's what seems to be going on with Zephaniah. Now, keep in mind that this is all, and this is the way the scripture does a lot. So when we did the podcast on Zechariah 14, it came out and said, behold, the day of the Lord comes. And then it told you some events that were going to happen just prior to it, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what Zephaniah is doing. Zephaniah is saying, hey, the day of the Lord's coming, right? Mm-hmm. And it goes through that first chapter telling us. Yes. And then we go into the second chapter, and it's giving us information just prior to it. And that's what I believe this is happening right here, because he's done that pattern before, right? Wow. And he says, be gathered together, O nation undesired. And that's got to be Esau, because that's what, the book of Malachi says in the first chapter. So, yeah, we're seeing literally these minor prophets and major prophets coming out and telling us what's going on.
Yeah.
So, Zephaniah chapter 2, check it out. And you can see really clearly that it looks like it's pertaining to what we're seeing now. So I believe that's why I seen that little mini vision, is to tell us that this is upon us. So stay prayed up.
Yes, and Michael's vision about the Antichrist, about the fracture coming out.
Yes.
That's a very chilling thing, but the Lord prepares us for everything, and I'm so glad that we're able to do this and share, and we want to hear from you all too. If you've got visions and dreams pertaining to this, drop those in the comments. We would love to hear them.
Well, it stands to reason the Antichrist is coming out of the bottomless pit, and he has to confirm that or strengthen that covenant for 7 years. So he should appear sometime this month. Now, prophecy is a hard thing to put your finger on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't come to pass the way you think when you look at it. Mm-hmm. But that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what God sent us here to warn you, that this month and this year is the time that the 70th week will start. And, we can't pinpoint it to the very day in October, but we really believe it's going to be in October sometime based on what visions we've received.
And we're seeing a lot of evidence showing and pointing to something's going to come out this month. According to that press conference, it sounded like something soon is going to emerge about these issues. So
when that starts, that will start the wheat harvest. Oh, I know what I haven't told.
Oh, okay.
I got another
The Lord reminded you.
This was not a vision. This was a revelation. All right.
Okay.
And many times as I've looked at Revelation and seen the two sickles, one brought in the wheat and one brought in the cluster of the vine.
Yes.
I never thought about this, but it just all of a sudden just downloaded into me what's going on. But this is what happened. The understanding came is before you harvest wheat, you have to cut it down. It has to fall. So, when you cut wheat, it has to hit the ground first before it's harvested. Especially the old way of harvesting wheat, where they took the wheat cradles and they would cut it down.
Right.
And then they would go back and put it into shocks and then pick it up and then take it. And then they would take it to the threshing floor and throw up the wheat in the air, and the air would blow away the chaff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Let's apply that to the resurrection. What has to happen first? Well, it has to be cut down. So that's what we're saying is going to happen during the tribulation.
Right.
Is that the wheat will be cut down. We lose our lives. We become martyrs for Christ, right? And then at the resurrection, we're harvested.
Oh.
Separated. Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't ever put that together, but I all of a sudden he just then he did this. Another wave of revelation came. So when you harvest grapes, you pick them, right?
Right.
And you pick them because next year those grapes will grow again, right?
Right.
And you pick them again, right?
Right.
That's not how this grapes harvest is happening. It says he's thrusting in a sickle and he's bringing all the vine. Well, if you're bringing all the vine, what is your plans? Not to have another harvest.
Oh my goodness.
And I never had seen that. And all of a sudden, just both of these revelations just went into me. And I was like, I understood them. I was like, oh, I have never thought of that, Lord. I never thought that the wheat has to fall first. I never thought that when you pull in the grapevines, there's not going to be another harvest of grapes. That's it. Because what happens? Everlasting righteousness comes in, right?
Yes.
Now, we know that in the very end, Gog and Magog will take place. We know that. But there will be never another crop out of this vine. That's what he's saying with that. And I've never heard anybody say anything about that, ever.
No.
But I didn't see it. I just all of a sudden knew it. It's just downloaded into me. It's like matter of fact, guess what? They fall first before they're harvested, right?
Yeah.
You cut them down first.
Right.
And guess what? Whenever you go to harvest grape, you don't use a sickle. You pluck them by the hand because you want them to grow them again the next year. And that's not what's happening with this vine. He's putting vine and all into the winepress of God.
Because it's over.
Because it's over.
It's over.
So that was another thing that happened this past
That's
week.
heavy. That's a heavy one right there.
Well, but it's truth.
It's truth.
It's truth. It's coming.
Yeah.
We've got to be ready for it. We got to be prayed up. We got to stay close to the Lord because what happens, it's kind of like, I like to say it this way. You remember we talked about God being a son? Mm-hmm. Well, if we're going to be supermen, we have to be recharged by the sun. We have to stay close to God, in other words. Whenever the comic book character Superman gets weak, he flies up into the sun and stands in the sun and gets refreshed. Well, we have to do that spiritually with the Son of Righteousness. We have to go expose ourselves to him to be re-strengthened and revitalized. And that's what's going to take for us to get through this time. The time's coming, the grace and the double portion, which is also spoken in the book of Joel, that he's going to pour out the Spirit in a double portion, like Acts on steroid. Like, think about twice as much Spirit as they got during Acts. We will be in a bliss when it comes to the time.
And it won't even, it's not like our carnal minds are thinking. Like, it sounds heavy and scary, and then it's like when we get there, it's gonna be like, this is nothing. Like,
Just like it was when I had my tooth pulled and I got extra gas.
yes, you're just like, I don't care what you do to me. It's reminded me to say this too. I know there's a lot of people been kind of judging, Erica Kirk, his wife, after the assassination of Charlie, about how she's being so positive, how she's able to get out there and do his show again, how she smiles and laughs and she's able to be so happy. They're just like judging her, saying, you just lost your husband. Like, how could you be so joyful? How could you be so happy and all this stuff after this loss? And I'm sure she's hurting inside. But the difference in that is she's got the Spirit of God inside of her. And I feel like he's all over her right now. And she is able to find joy even through this tragedy.
It's what forgiveness does. When she forgave him, the sorrow went with it because it's a temporary thing.
When she knows that, she knows she'll get to see him again. She knows this is not the end. This, if someone dies on earth, their spirit lives on if they know the Lord. And that's why I'm just so convinced that she is so legit and so full of Jesus that she can still have peace and laugh, and almost in that state of like God's got a supernatural shield over her and grace on her, that she's able to be joyful and through this tough season. That's going to be how we're going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to be like us.
You realize that this is not our home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is eventually going to be our home forever.
But yeah, a different word.
This age
Yes.
of flesh and blood is not going to last very much longer at all. Mm-hmm. And you don't put all your eggs in this basket. And you realize that this is temporary. I lost my dad, in July of 2024, but it's just a short time. It's like he's went on a trip. I'm going to see him.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
you don't cry when somebody goes on vacation.
That's true. You miss them.
I do.
You have the hope of seeing them when they return.
It's a short time. If it was going to be a millennia before I seen him, it would be tough. But it's just a short time. We'll be back together.
Right. And I think she knows that too. We want to see you in heaven.
Just confess your sins. Make Jesus the Lord of your life. Abide in him and walk with him, and you will live with him forever.
If you are enjoying the content and would like to support our ministry, you can do so through Venmo or PayPal. Our handle is @CardingTruth, or use our QR code.
That is some good stuff right there. I love a good podcast on supernatural visions, dreams, stuff like that. So these are my favorite to do. And we will get back to Revelation 6, and we'll probably do a recap and then finish the whole thing out as the Lord allows us to do that. But we are so glad that you tuned in today. We would love your feedback in the comments. If you've had any of the experiences yourself, especially lately, drop those down below. We read those. We like to respond to those if all possible. And it's so great to hear from you guys. We want to thank our subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, we would love if you would subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications. Until next time, we hope that you're with us. Be blessed.